What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. I am so happy to be here, as I am every week, with you. And today I have two of my dear friends on this episode. I don't really know how this is going to go because these two young ladies are hilarious. And once we get together and the drinks start flowing, ain't no telling what's going to happen. So tonight, I am so honored to have my good friend Lalah and my also good friend Alexis with me tonight. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hey, Rhonda.
Podcast. Welcome to the pod. Let's have a good time. Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. So, first, I always ask my guests what they have on the rocks because we all work in education in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I don't know about y'all, but I am drinking alcohol in my Rockstar glass. I'm drinking On the Rocks, which is like a pre-mixed cocktail, and ginger beer. What about you guys? What do you guys have on the rocks?
So for me, I juiced this morning, so I'm just drinking some green apples, kiwi, pineapple, and cucumbers.
Oh,
I am having water. Y'all, I'm really not this boring, but it's a weekday and I am fasting from alcohol. So yeah, don't judge me. I generally would have alcohol in my hand with no problem, but we gonna rock it out with the water tonight.
I aspire to be like y'all because unless I like am very intentional, like, okay, this week I am not going to drink alcohol Monday through Friday. It just naturally happens. I somehow get off work and alcohol ends up in my glass. I don't, who pours it?
Whatever.
I don't know. But yeah, I aspire. But shout out to y'all drinking water, juicing, all of those things. Shout out to y'all. That's why y'all the realest. All right, so we're going to jump into the show, and the first segment is called the Weekend Rundown. So this past weekend, I don't know if I can really say I had the pleasure, but I drove some family members of mine. My mom and I drove some family members of mine down to Natchez, Mississippi. And if you are listening from the South right now, particularly from Natchez, Mississippi, what the fuck y'all got going on there?
What the fuck?
It's the fucking sticks. It may have been
Can you
a Dollar General, a gas station, and I don't even know if I saw a grocery store. What the fuck?
can you
Like
can you say the name of this part
Natchez,
of this
Natchez, Mississippi. It just sounds like
serial killer land?
I mean, it sounds like Jim Crow was very heavily happening in
Jim
that
Crow
part.
still lives there.
That is where Jim Crow was born and raised. In Natchez, Mississippi. And I will say that at 9 p.m. or anytime after dark, it is very scary driving through Natchez, Mississippi, being a Black woman with a van full of other Black people. However,
Mm.
we made it down there safely, dropped them off. I pray that they, have a great life and a new start down there. On the way back, my mom and I were able to stop in Memphis. She got to hang out with a friend of hers. I got to see my friend D from the Boy Please Whatever podcast, as well as his friend Sean, who's been a guest on his podcast many times. Didn't get to see my cousins, but I did get to see one of my cousins in Jackson, Mississippi, but didn't get to see my other two cousins who live in Memphis, which was fine. I was exhausted. But yeah, it was nice to get away. And it was nice to spend some time with my mom. Like, we're just so busy and kind of like passing each other on a regular basis that we don't really get intimate time like that. And when you stuck in a car with somebody for probably 24 hours over the course of 2 days, we got to spend some intimate time. So much so that I did the majority of the driving. But on the way back home to Chicago, I was like, you know what? You gotta like take on some of this. I let my mom drive for maybe an hour and a half because when I looked over and she was driving 55 and a 70, You gotta get your ass up.
We
The
don't never
very
make it
first
home.
stop that we made after she started driving, I was like, no, ma'am. I just simply, this is not safe. You're gonna kill us. No, ma'am. Get your ass up. So yeah, that was my weekend. I'm very, very grateful that we did not have school on Tuesday because it was freezing cold here. So the day
Amen.
that I kind of missed traveling, which was MLK holiday, I got to make it up on Tuesday. So I was very grateful for that. What about y'all? Y'all do anything interesting, exciting over the weekend?
Child. No.
That's okay.
Let's get straight to it.
Sometimes.
No.
So I actually went out this past weekend,
Okay.
and
Alexis, you always outside.
is that's not so. That's not so. I feel like I'm always in the house. Like when y'all see me post up, like that's when I be outside, and y'all don't see me post up that much.
You right. It's just them
Um,
be them old pictures. That's what it be. You be archiving.
yeah,
I'll be like,
I'll
she
be
outside,
I'll
she
be
got a
in the house.
new do, and then the next day it'll be a different picture. I was like, that's old. Don't worry about
Right,
it.
right. Hard to keep
Yeah.
up. Keep us guessing.
So it was my best friend's birthday. She invited me out. I went out to the club. It was a club downtown, and I usually I feel like my partying days are over. But I was like, I haven't been out in a while. Let me see what's to it. So we went out. We had a good time. We got on the Sprinter. Um, and I mean, we just had a ball. We had a good time. She had an Airbnb. I didn't stay because I had to go to work the next day.
She has some money to
She had to go
spend on her big
home.
thing.
But yeah, we went to Hubbard Inn downtown.
I
Um,
love her and
yeah, it was nice. We had a good time. But
all of them.
PT was tired. I was so tired. But I was tired before I even got there because I had still went to work that night. Got off a little early and then I still went out. So yeah, TT was tired. But I
People
had a
don't
good time.
understand how hard it is to be an auntie. Like
I think
we
it's easy.
gotta. They think it's easy. It is very exhausting. Like I have to drink by a certain hour,
Yeah,
be done, and back in my house to be drunk and sleep at home.
correct.
Being an auntie is not easy. I just need people to understand that.
It's
But I
not.
wear it
And
very well.
I
Yeah.
think that becoming an auntie just kind of like ran up on me. Like 1 minute I was outside till 4 a.m. And the next it was like, wow, it's 8 o'clock. I'm starting to shut down. Like, I don't know when I like transitioned, but I feel like I just got hit over the head. But I like being an auntie. Like I do a little pop out and then I
A
pop back.
little bit.
Mhm.
Yes.
Plus, it's
Yes.
like it's dangerous to like be
Correct.
out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to get into it with people. These hoes want to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want to, do all this other stuff. I don't have time for that. So I just stay in. I go to my little bar where it's, older people and, get drunk and come home, lay down. That's it.
I'm telling you, people, like going to the club was cool. What you did this past weekend, Alexa, I think that is a good time every once in a while. Like
Yeah.
every blue moon, you need that.
Yeah.
But baby, you can't take me from a hole in the wall, honey. I loves me a good old Judy's, a good old Family Den, Bar 91, child. What's that? The Licorice Club, whatever. Take me to the hole in the wall
Please.
and feed me chicken.
Yes.
Amen.
And the drinks be
It could be the
cheap.
best.
The
It be
drinks
the
are
best.
cheap. At the President's Lounge, we buy one shot and we get two free. Like, you cannot beat that. I'm gonna be drunk in the first hour, dancing for the second hour, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get home after that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Being an auntie
Yeah.
is gold. Before we move on, I just want to shout out my youngest supporter. Her name is Samina. Samina is the daughter of my good friend Sam. And when I tell you this little girl keeps up with Rhonda on the Rocks, Samina, I think, is
Aww.
8. She keeps up with me so much. My friend Sam texted me today and said, Samina said to her, so Rhonda not single no more? Like, girl, what do you know about a person being single? You're 8.
In the
So
What
that
business.
just goes
episode did
to
she
show
miss?
you she has been paying attention to know, like, Okay, Rhonda used to talk about being single. Now she's not talking about being single anymore. When my friend Sam got her merch, Samina was like, "What? You got Rhonda on the Rocks merch?" Like she knew what she had on. And I'm just like, shout out to Samina. I love you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being my youngest supporter. I got a shirt for you coming. I got some other little Rhonda on the Rock stuff for you coming. But I appreciate you. See, you just never know who's watching. Just
It
never
sounds
know
like
who's
Samina
watching.
need a little cameo on the show one day because
She
she
has
got to
to.
bring the supporter on, baby, because she sounds like a blast in the glass.
Listen, when I got that text message today, I was like, well, now I have to, she has to have Rhonda on the Rocks sneakers, socks, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever she wants, she's going to
You
get.
get
Because, like, I got grown people who don't know what's going on with Rhonda on the Rocks. But my little 8-year-old, little god baby, little fan, honey, she's locked in and she knows exactly what's going on. So shout out to you, Samina. I appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
All right. The next segment that we are going to dive into is called Love Bites.
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid well and often.
So I saw this post on Facebook and I immediately screenshot it and was like, I know exactly who I'm going to discuss this with on the podcast because I know for sure that both of you are going to have you're going to have an opinion about this. So I'm going to read this post to you. I don't know who Tay Tay Caraway is on Facebook, but shout out to Tay Tay for the content. I'm going to read this post to you and then we're just going to talk through it. I want to get a vibe, see what you guys think. Okay. Tay Tay Caraway says, my man in capital letters, MAN, all caps. My man runs my household, period. What he says goes. So, yes, I have to consult with him first, all caps. I'm not asking for permission. I'm consulting with the man of the house before I make any rash decisions. But he also pays majority of the bills too. I can honestly say he thinks more logically than I do. A lot of the decisions I make are only half thought out with emotion and impulse. If you have a man that can properly lead, you wouldn't have to question what I'm saying. I know my role in our relationship, and when it's my time to shine, baby, he allows me to shine, all caps. And I most definitely know when it's my time to sit up, because if Big Mama got to sit up, it's going to be a problem. But until then, I sit back, shut up, and listen.
Alexis, I'm gonna go ahead and let you have that one first because your face
First and
said it all.
foremost, I think it's important to identify like your strengths and your weaknesses. It's one thing to identify them, but it's another thing to actually work on them. So it's cool. You let your hubby lead the household. Cool. However, at what point do you work on your weaknesses so that like there aren't any pressure points for your husband, so you can deal with the situation if he's not available. Um, and I get it. Some people are better at communicating than others, but what do you mean? Like you when you lean up, it's a problem. Like why can't we handle things gracefully? Um, I don't know. That it struck a lot of nerves in me. Like I get it. Like you want your man to lead your household, and yes, you have to consult and not ask.
Yeah,
But I also think that you should be working on the things that you feel like is a is a problem. If you're always emotional, or if your reaction isn't what your husband gives, because at the end of the day, y'all a team. So if you
correct.
out here acting crazy, what that says about him?
Hello, Layla.
So there's a lot to this post. As a married woman,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with some of it.
Okay.
Um, I'm okay with letting my husband make decisions. We discuss a lot of decisions, so it ain't like he out here going to buy a new house and then bring me to the new house and be like, babe, I bought you a new house. Yeah, baby, that don't work like that.
Right.
What do you mean? No.
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that, like, if there's conversation happening and you're telling me like, hey babe, I think this is best for what we got going on, then cool. I'm okay 100% with taking a back seat. As long as you keep me in the know and I am in agreement of it and it ain't gonna negatively harm our household, our finances, or any of those things, I'm okay with that. Now, but I am not okay is with Big Mama having to sit down and shut up. Cause baby, I'm not gonna ever shut up. Okay, I just don't think that in a relationship, a woman feeling like she has to, like, I can't say this because it's his job to. Now, baby, this is 2025, and the way the world work, it take pretty much two incomes for people to live comfortably nowadays. And if it don't, if he is paying all the bills, then hey sis, God bless your ministry. He out here trifling it out, plus his job, and God bless y'all, and I'm wishing y'all the best. But as for me and my household, I'ma follow his lead. But please understand that when it boils down to it, my input does matter, and I'm not a sit up and shut up girl.
Yeah.
I can't be silenced that way. And just the whole she said, and I most definitely know when it's my time to sit up, because if Big Mama gotta sit up, it's going to be a problem. But until then, I sit back, shut up, and listen. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like, if you gotta sit up, like if something go wrong and you gotta say something, it's all hell gonna break loose. I don't know what that means, but it shouldn't even take all that. Like, girl, what's understood ain't gotta never be explained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the piece for me.
Especially not to social media. So when I read this,
Right.
it felt very pick me, right? Like I want men to like chime in and give me a round of applause for this. Because first of all, Tay say we didn't need to know any of this. Like you just overshared for no
Mm.
apparent reason. Like we legit did not need to know what happens in your household. So I guess my first question is like, was someone challenging this? Did someone have something to say about the way you and your husband run your household? Because what would make you get on social media and make an entire post about what you and your husband do inside of your
Mhm.
household?
Correct.
So that,
And I think as a married person, like I would not even post something like this. Just be it gives like I'm married and this is how it's supposed to be, or like I'm in a relationship and this is
mhm.
how I got my man and this is how you keep your man type thing. Like that's what it gives, and that ain't sis. That ain't how it works.
Right. And that's why I said it felt very like pick me. Like, ooh, I want everyone to think that I'm so cool because I just let my man lead. And then to say like, what did she say? A lot of decisions I make are only half thought out with emotion and impulse. Like Alexis said, honey, that's an area of growth for you. That's why your husband, it's not because you have so much reverence for him and that's why he's making all the decisions. It's because you can't. Like you basically just told us you don't know how to make good decisions. Which makes me
You
wonder, did
always
you make a
think
good
from your
decision?
emotion.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, did you make a good decision when you picked this husband? Because you do stuff out of emotion.
Correct.
You make all these rash decisions. So, and I'm not beating this woman up. I don't even know Tay Tay. But I just thought that the post was so like, it kind of gave me the ick. Like, why? Like, it gave very much pick me. Like, I just clickbait or something. Like, I just want y'all to have something to talk about. I agree with you, Layla, 100% with the like, until then, I sit back, shut up, and listen. No, ma'am. Let me get real close in the camera. No, ma'am. Absolutely not.
Yeah, nah,
Absolutely
that
the
don't
fuck
work
not.
for
I'm
me.
not going to. There is no sit back and shut up in me. Is there like a moment of silence? Sure.
Sure.
I'll give you a moment of
No, so
silence.
okay, so there is a sit back and shut up in me. Here's two, I think, okay, let me see. Here's one example of sit back and shut up.
Okay.
I'm out with my husband and we are doing something in regards to like maybe a big purchase or something get to do with a car or something that's involving potentially another man. And I'm feeling like, all right, dude trying to finesse. Take this one, baby. I'm gonna sit back and I know you got this type thing. Like, yeah, this needs to be some men to men conversation, and I'm just gonna sit back and let him have this one. Or if I'm in a situation or if I'm in a group of people or if I'm like out and it's some things happening, if my husband say it's time to go, it's time to go. I'm peeping scene, he peeping scene, and he look at me and he give me the look, or he say, "Hey, I ain't feeling this. We need to leave." I'm not gonna question that. We gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in
So
that,
there are moments
yeah.
that you can sit back and shut up and do what is needed. But to one, like Alexis said, like she has no identity to be able to make decisions.
Correct.
And that is probably why he is making all of the decisions, because you've shown him that you cannot make a decision that is not emotion
Right.
based.
Right. So it's different to me when your sit back and shut up is like on one accord, right? I look at you, you look at me. We already know what's up because we've communicated so well up until this point that we know what's up. It's never going to be a sit back and shut up in a chastising way. I
Yeah.
She, me, her, I can't do that one. Like, well, let's have a conversation. Maybe not in the moment, but like let's have a conversation about why I can't vocalize how I feel in this moment, especially if I have something that I feel like contributes to the conversation.
Mm.
I can understand like in dangerous situations, or like you said, when big purchases are being made, he's signing his name on the line. And even then, I may be quiet, but I'm gonna say, hey, can I talk to you over here just for 1 second? I just have, whatever. But yeah, I just the whole like sit back and shut up and listen. And I know there are some men who are like, that's women's problem. They can't never sit back and shut up. Well,
You
too
know they
damn
was gonna
bad.
do the post saying all that. You know they was gonna do that.
Yeah. But I want to be with someone where we're collaborating. You know what I mean? It's not like he's up here and I'm down here. Are there moments when it's like, okay, you up here, I'm gonna stay, here? Yes. But for the most part, we need to be operating on the same page. We need to be operating in the same step in order, because collectively we're running our household. I don't care who pays the majority of the bills. A household don't just run on money. I live alone and my household don't just run on money. You gotta
Yeah.
have peace in here. You gotta have order. You gotta have cleanliness. That, like, you can't buy peace.
Not at all.
You can't buy joy. So it takes more than just finances to run a household. And if I'm being told, well, you just make too many rash decisions, I got this. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't have a husband. So maybe it's different once you tie the knot, but I don't know. I was very triggered by sit down and shut up. I just was like, no. But okay. Any other thoughts before we move on?
No.
No, yeah, this just to sit down and shut up part, even as a married woman. Who you talk to? Who you talk to? I may sit down, but I ain't gonna shut
Yeah.
up. That's what I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do.
And I'm only gonna sit down because I like this chair. It had nothing to do with what you said. I like
I
this.
just think that's just like
I'm
an
gonna
old
listen.
school thing now. Like this 2025. Sit down and shut up. Who?
Mm-hmm.
Who you talk to?
I'm gonna sit down and shut up and watch you look stupid. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit down. You say sit down and shut up? Bet. Let me see how you finna handle this. Oh, don't ask for my help either.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do not ask.
I also struggle with like being embarrassed. So if you're going to do something that I feel like would even remotely embarrass me or you, I absolutely cannot shut up. I just can't. Like I have to stop you before we get to the point where I am embarrassed because
No, you know every damn thing. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because you got your fucking
Sit back.
degree and you know every
Got
goddamn
you
thing.
know it's fucking thing. I'm gonna sit back in this chair and watch you fucking look stupid. Go ahead, sir. You got it.
Oh,
Shit didn't work out, huh? Huh? You talking to me?
Girl.
No, I'm sit down and I'm shutting up. You got it, big dog.
Well, Tay Tay, I hope things are working out for you, sis. You know, if you ever want to come and share your story, you're welcome to come to the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. All right?
I'd like to sit at the table with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tay Tay. Tune in, sis, please.
Tune in, Tay. Tune in, Tay Tay. All right. The next segment is called A No or a Go.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, god damn it, I'm not.
In this segment, I want to dive a little deeper, if you will. And I know that, you know, Layla, you're married, so of course we'll be talking about things in the past. Alexis, you know, you do what you do. Maybe this is your current situation. Who knows? Not my current situation because I'm saved. But what are your thoughts on friends with benefits? Like, I know for sure that I've definitely had friends with benefits before, and we'll dive into that. But I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts on friends with benefits? Are there rules to having friends with benefits? Are there like more benefits outside of sex? So when I say friends with benefits, I mean like we're not in a relationship, we're homies, but we scratching each other's itch. We're eating, you know, each other's body parts. Like we're fucking. Okay? That's what I mean
Got
by
it. Got it.
benefits. The benefits that I'm talking about specifically are sexual. Now, I do believe that there are other benefits in a friends with benefits relationship, but I first want to know y'all thoughts. Like, is that like a thing of the past? Is it antiquated? Does it work? Like, what do you guys think?
I don't. I'm not against it, but I don't think like it's a rational decision. And I just think it's like a tit for tat thing.
Okay.
Um, so like say for instance, like I got a friends with benefits and we just homies, but
Yeah.
you know, I wanna okay, so in my old apartment, like I had to go out and go washing and drying. Who's gonna carry all this shit? So I gotta call you like, hey, can you come do it?
Yeah.
Can you come take this out or can you know, take this to my car? Well, can I trunk you later? No, I just want you to take my stuff to the
Can I do what?
Can I trunk you later?
What is can I trunk you
Because
later?
you gotta
What
put
is
it in the
that?
trunk, but we friends with benefits. So you
Yeah.
need something from me because I'm giving you something. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bitch,
it
teach
turns
me.
into like a tit
Teach.
for tat
Yeah.
type
Teach.
thing. So
Baby, can you trunk me later? Baby, can you trunk me later?
He wanna put something in you and slam that trunk down. Put something in
Baby, you
there
turn
and
me
then
later.
slam that trunk down for the grand finale.
yeah.
I'm gonna
So
get trunk tonight.
I'm not I'm not saying like it's not for everybody, but for me at my age, like no, I just honestly feel like it's a tit for tat thing. Like
Yeah.
I gotta use the coochie because I'm asking you to do something. Like get the fuck out of here. Like it's the no for me.
All right. Layla.
Well, I've been with the same penis for the last 12 years. So I
Oh yeah.
honestly cannot uh speak a whole lot on the friends with benefits. But I live vicariously through my friends, honey, because I got a lot of single friends and baby, they be fucking going through it.
Yeah.
And I just be listening like, girl, you can't tag?
Yeah.
Cause I would be exhausted.
Yeah.
I just think that it takes a lot of time and effort. And I don't think I would have the patience
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Yeah.
Just because like I ain't got time for nobody sending me off. Or like I gotta keep up with your schedule. You keep up with my
Mhm.
no, I'd rather stay single or find it maybe one, not a few, but
Yeah.
one until that time comes. But I be here for all the stories, bro. Like I be here for the TV shows. I be here for it all. because it is very entertaining, but it is very exhausting.
Yeah. I think for me, so it's a no for you, Layla?
Yeah, it's a no for
Okay.
me.
So I think for me, it depends on where you are in your singleness, right? Like, are you at a place in your singleness where you are like, I am okay with being single? I'm good. Like, I don't desire a relationship. Perhaps you just got out of a relationship and you just coasting. And you just want something just to have something. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the grocery store, you're not necessarily hungry. You pick up a bag of Doritos for later because you just never know. That sort of thing. Or are you at the place in your singleness where you are like, I really want a relationship? I am marriage minded. Like that is what my heart posture is. I think when you are in that place in singleness, having a friend with benefits gets very dangerous because you want more than just the benefits. You want the full package. You want the relationship. You want the Valentine's Day gifts. You want the dates. You want all of that stuff. And so I don't think in those situations that friends with benefits works. Now, before my current situation, um,
What situation? You gotta. I mean, the baby said it, so I just wanted
listen,
to follow
if
follow
you want to
up.
know, you have to listen to other episodes of Rhonda on the Rocks podcast and follow me on
Um,
Instagram at Rhonda on the Rocks _podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just trying to get like Namina, baby. Rhonda got a man. Carry on.
so
Carry on.
prior to the place that I am in right now, I was very much in like, I'm doing me. Being single is the best thing that ever happened to me. And if somebody want to come over and eat this waterfall, then yeah, I'm fine with it. And I felt fine. Like there was no like strings attached. You know, of course, people from the past, the moment that you are not dating anymore, like everybody from 1999 want to be like, oh hey, like oh my god, you know, I see you got a little podcast. Like I see you got a little podcast. Or you have the
Big
people who
podcast. Stop it.
you got the niggas who's like, I mean, I would, you know what I'm saying? I would try to take you out, but I don't want to be on your podcast. Like, what makes you think that you're so significant that I would talk about you for the World Wide Web? Like,
You because they know you know that you would suck so much that I would make an episode that
clearly,
you probably
you
would be on
and if you
because you
that type
suck
of
so
nigga where you're
much.
not confident enough in yourself to know that I'm gonna get on this microphone and say something positive about you, I don't want to be bothered with you anyway.
Exactly.
I don't want to be bothered with you
Or
anyway.
come on over and let me go ahead and embarrass you since you already gonna throw that out there. Come on and just give me a storyline. I'm
Yeah,
always looking for new content. Come be the
yeah.
content, why don't you?
Yeah. So, but most of the time, I'm not interested. Like, I'm not thinking about this podcast 24/7 and using people for content. The content writes itself. I literally do not have to go looking for a thing. All I gotta do is get on Facebook. Tay Caraway gonna be on there talking bullshit, and I'm gonna just talk about her motherfucking ass. So I don't need for a nigga to come over here for me to get like, oh, I'm gonna talk about you on the podcast. But anyway, I was at a place in my life then where I was just like, it is what it is, and I felt fine. Like you do you, I do me. We talk and text only when it's about that thing, and it worked. Of course, I very much desire to be a wife. I desire to be a mom. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if it happens, it happens. But um, that only worked for me for so long. So, am I against friends with benefits? No, I think it can work. Depending on where you are in your singleness, and you have to be honest with yourself though, because there are some great men out there who dick as long as my goddamn arm, like laying it down, 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 down. And sometimes your mind gets clouded and you're like, I just want this for the rest of my life. And they like, no, we talked about this. We're not doing that. And then you get your feelings hurt, and now it's like, fuck niggas. These niggas don't want shit but pussy. Well, yeah, y'all talked about that before you started fucking. Like,
Right.
Yes, he said that. Y'all, that's what y'all decided. And now you're trying to switch it up. So yeah, I think friends with benefits to me can work if both parties are honest with what they want and where they're going. And when it's over, let it be done. When you go digging the graves up again and bringing these people back in your life and you dibbling and dabbling, you're only confusing yourself and causing more drama for you. So am
Mm-hmm.
I opposed to friends with benefits? No, it's a go for me. Like, by all means, and I feel this way for men and women, right? Like, get your row out. That's what my dad used to say. Get your row out. Get all you need. So that way, when you do decide that you want to be in a committed relationship, to me, you don't feel like you're missing out on things or you're like, oh, now I'm stuck or I'm trapped. Like, I am very much an advocate of people like, do you? Like, if you want to do the Chicago Bears, get it. Like I
Wait, what did the man do from what was that movie? Coming to America. Royal saw his royal oats.
yeah, sow your royal oats. Sow them. Oats are meant to be sowed, so sow them. I can't like I'm not mad at people who feel okay with expressing themselves sexually. I feel
Yeah.
like you should protect yourself because people nasty. They out here bogus. So I
Yeah.
100% think you should protect yourself, but also protect your heart. Like if you can go into a situation knowing what it is and be okay with that, then by all means do it. But if you are one who you know you get attached or you got like trauma that you're not dealing with and you trying to get back at your ex and all, nah, it's never gonna work. But if you can come in and be like, yo, my name is Rhonda, I'm single, I'm outside, what's up? Then why not? So for me, it's a go. It is a
I
go.
think like in your early mid 20s, it's a good time to like have that phase. Like you're
Hmm.
not taking nobody serious at that moment. You still
Right.
getting to know yourself. I think that's a pretty good phase to like start that.
Hmm.
And then it's also like it's just sometimes it give me like sugar daddy vibes. Just get you a sugar daddy if that's all you want,
Period.
or because I mean that's what he want and that's what you want. You want some coins and he wants some food.
You gotta be careful though,
Okay.
because see, that's how I got my husband.
Mhm.
Layla.
That what?
See, I told y'all at the beginning of this episode, and
That
it's finally
see,
happening.
and let me tell
Go
you,
ahead.
because see, when I met my husband,
Mhm.
I ain't had no expectations for no relationship. I actually was in a really fucked up place
Hmm.
from previous relationships that had failed. And I was out here like, I'm just gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
And then here this nigga go making a bitch fall in love. And then yeah, it what was supposed to been fun, friends, potentially,
Hmm.
turned into love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here
That's
we
not a
are,
bad
12
thing.
years.
Like it
It is
wasn't
not a
intentional
bad
on your
thing.
end.
But that
So
is a prime example though
yeah.
of like when your emotions get involved,
Mhm.
how one thing could turn to another. Luckily I was with somebody who was into me just as much as I was into them
Yeah.
and wanted to take things further than just
Yeah.
being
Right.
friends
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. I feel like, and again, like I said, I feel like if both people are on the same page with whatever it is, if it's friends with benefits and you both on the same page, perfect. If it's wanting more and wanting a relationship or to go a little bit further or whatever the case is, sure. Like if both people are on the same page, where the problem comes in is when you are walking down the aisle and he walking out the back door down the alley.
Mhm.
That's when it's a problem. Or vice versa. Like, so you just have to make sure that you are on the same page. When I met the person that I am dating now, I was, like I said, I was very much in the like, I'm doing me, like I'm good. And not that I was like out here fucking out of both draw legs, but I wasn't having a bad time. That's for sure. I was not having a bad time. I was not having a bad time, okay? But I was not looking for a relationship. I wasn't. I finally felt like I was in a place where I was like, I really love the fuck out of Rhonda. Like, I love me. I'm having a good time. I got this podcast. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm having birthday parties. Like, I'm just doing me. And that's when it happened. And of course, people say that all the time, like, when you least expect it, that's when it gonna happen. You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And sure enough, that's exactly when it happened. So I think if people are on the same page, friends with benefits can be great. And I've had some friends with benefits that I'm still cool with this to this day. And it's not, I would never sleep with this person again. But we just cool. Like we just cool. Like they ask about me and my family and things I got going on. Same with them. So I just really think you have to be in the right place, in the right mindset for something like that to work. Any other thoughts, ladies?
I'm just trying to picture myself as someone who would do that.
I'm sure
Or
it's
I'm
hard
trying
to
to
picture yourself doing something like that now because of the place. I mean, you're married. You've been with the same man for 12 years. And I've been
yeah,
single more than I've been single more than you have been in a relationship. And being
yeah.
single now is not like it was 12 years ago. And it doesn't even
That is
seem
also
like it was
true.
that long ago, but it's just not. Like niggas is different. Bitches is crazy. Like I mean, ain't no way I could date a woman nowadays, let alone a man. Everybody's fucking off their rocker. I don't even know what to say. So it's like it's just not the same that as it was 12 years ago. So I'm sure it is hard for you to imagine what that would look like now in 2025 because people are just different. They're just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, I'm speaking more so in terms of like, not even if I was necessarily single, but more so like with the mindset that I have and just like who I am now versus how Alexis was talking about like in your early 20s.
Mhm.
At 34, baby, I ain't got time to be playing with you. What the fuck is you doing? Like, is we kicking it on all? And if we ain't, then move the fuck on. Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
I probably would scare off most
Yeah.
of me
For sure.
because I'm very straightforward was what I would probably want. So yeah, I just live through TV shows and through y'all.
Yeah. And I think that this is a great segue into our next segment, which is called Ball Headed Ho Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a babe, but I left the nigga
Y'all
at
already
home.
know.
Hey, drop one, what we doing?
Y'all talking about twerk classes.
Yeah.
Drop
one
the pizza.
Ho shit, ball head, ho shit. Get it, bitch, ball head, ho shit.
So one of the things that I love and admire about both of you is your strength, your resilience. You are two of the brightest women that I know, truly. Like you're very creative, both of you. Very, very creative, you know, engaging. Like, and I love that about you. And what I do know about you as well is that both of you have a very similar story. Both of you were mothers young, you were single mothers, but you've graduated college, you're successful, you're doing all of these things. And I am, one, let me just say, very, very proud of you guys for that. Not that you need my accolades, but I'm just incredibly proud of you for all that you have gone through and endured up until this point and who you've become because of it. So we talked a little bit about like when I was young, I was into this and I was doing that and all of that, and now at your age now, how you've matured. So I would love for each of you to talk about like what it meant or what it was like being a single mom, and then what like motivated you and got you to the place that you're in now, with your careers. And Alexis, you're a business owner and just all of these wonderful things. Like how did you get here? Like tell me that. Who
Layla,
wants
I'll
to
let you
start?
go.
What you say?
I'll let you go.
Oh, child, how did I get here? Well, I have a 16-year-old. Who would have thought me would have a 16-year-old? At 34. So you do the math. I started early. Had my daughter when I was 17 and in high school. It's just something that happens when you young and you think you in love and you just things happen. And so I knew that because of my faith having my daughter was something that I had to do
Mhm.
and felt right for me. And it felt like a decision that if it were the opposite, I wouldn't be able to mentally deal with how the effects of that could have been.
So what
So I
let me
had
stop you for a second. So
what
you're saying like if you would have chose to terminate, you wouldn't have been mentally okay with that because of your faith.
absolutely
Okay. Okay.
my faith and just like the feeling of just knowing that and this is no judgment to anyone else because I mean shit happens and
For
people
sure.
I'm here for choice and
Mhm.
all of those things. It's just me personally, I could never live with myself to do that
Mhm.
because that is a life that I created,
Mhm.
whether I was 17 or 27.
For sure.
That's just what my belief is. And so I had my daughter and things didn't work out, with her dad. Uh moved on to have some challenges, just like trying to figure my way out. When you 17, you got a kid, you want to be a teenager, but you also like got responsibilities. You somebody's mama, and
Yeah.
so the part of you that want to go out and kick it with your friends at night on the weekend, knowing you got a kid at the crib, the two just don't necessarily balance out
Yeah.
that much. And so it was a lot of times I had to make some really hard decisions on like giving up some of those latter years of enjoyment of being a teenager and doing some of those late teen things like teenagers do. Just because I had some bigger responsibilities and I knew that I needed to provide and I knew that I needed to start setting an example. So a lot of the childish ways that I had,
Mhm.
I had to get myself out of that because I knew it was a greater goal
Mm.
in the end. So I graduated from high school a 2 semesters early, basically like a year early,
Okay.
because I didn't want to be in school the whole time with a kid. So my junior year before having my daughter, I went to summer school, night school, day school, so that I could finish early and start some of that adulthood life of just really getting out there and being out on my own. Because going to school with a baby and then having parents that are also working and helping you raise your kid and then
Yeah.
having actual siblings, like it wasn't just a me raising my kid thing, like my whole household
Right.
had to deal with the effects of me bringing this new life into the house. So it affected not just me but everybody in my household, and I wanted to make sure that like I did not take away from the things that they had going on or make their life harder because of decisions that I made, although they embraced the decision that I did make.
Okay.
But I still felt like some ownership on my end that I have to do what I have to do. And this isn't necessarily their responsibility the way that it was starting to feel like it was. So I went ahead, got my diploma that December. School was like, cool, you fulfill all of your needs. Come on back for prom and graduation, and we are here for you. So that's exactly what I did. Came back for prom and graduation and still got to enjoy those moments with my classmates. But by that time, baby, I was enrolled in community college. I had a job, a job. My daughter was about to be 1 year old. So it was like all of the things were happening, and it was just like, damn, like you really are doing this. Like you are doing this almost adulthood life while still living at home with your parents. In a way that is conducive to what you gotta do. So to move things along, I went ahead and went to community college, got my associate's degree to start off because I knew that I wanted to go to school. Funny thing is the plan was to go away to school. I actually got accepted into many colleges that I had actually applied for, but I didn't have it in me to take my kid and leave.
Mhm.
Those were options that were actually put on the table. Like, that we have these programs and like you have people and we can support you and all of the things. And it was just like every inch of me took the information and was just like, I have a chance to still do what I do the thing. I have a chance, but like, damn, I gotta do it by myself, or like I don't know nobody, and like I don't want to take my daughter to a whole nother state. I don't even know how to be a parent.
Right.
shit, I am a child. So like doing all of that was just like, no, I am going to stay here and try to figure out what I need to figure out. And, I missed that going away opportunity of school. And I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I visited enough of my friends at their school to basically like know like, oh, this is cool, but yeah, I'm going back to the crib, I'm okay. Transferred to National Louis University, where I was able to do like an accelerated program and get my bachelor's degree in 2 years instead of the four. And somehow I fell into education. Just wasn't the plan. My mom was an educator in CPS for 20 years, and it was just like I was hearing and seeing all the stuff she was going through. I was like, girl, I ain't finna do that shit. Girl, you go with that. Look, I'm gonna do something. I don't know what. It won't be that. But I ended up doing work study at school, and then I was working retail. Everybody's first few jobs when they work in retail,
Shout
child.
out to Walgreens.
Shout out to Burlington Coat Factory. You help your girl get to what she gets
Gang
today.
gang.
Okay. They accommodated my work schedule, my school schedule, and they was like, hey, we got you. So I worked there for a little while. And then once I graduated college while working there, I had someone reach out and was like, hey, CPS got a whole bunch of paraprofessional roles available. Like, you want to go ahead and apply. You got your degree. You don't have to take the test. Just show them your degree. And I was like, show me the money, baby. Because at that time, uh, back in 2014, 2013, I want to say minimum wage was like $7.25 or some change like
Okay.
that. And
Just
I
about
and I was like, I'm working for chump change.
pennies.
This is why I had to work study too. And I wanted to work study because I actually wanted to put that money towards my tuition. But because I wasn't making no money in damn Burlington, I was taking the damn work check money and school check money and was paying bill. I got my apartment. I started doing all the things like I got to make this money work for me and me not work for the money. So did all of those things. Graduated with my degree. Met my husband along the way. Funny story about that, right? And I'm gonna make it quick. I met my husband actually at Burlington Coat Factory. He was working for them also, and I was visiting his store, and he worked for loss prevention, right?
And you was in there
So it
stealing with your crazy ass.
lies,
You was in there them people store
lies,
stealing.
all of the lies. Okay, I worked at the upscale Burlington Coat Factory, the one downtown on State Street. Okay, I don't even know if they still open, but anywho, I worked for
That's
that
because you
one. He
stole,
was
you
at that
robbing
old
people blind. That's why they know.
He worked at the old dusty one on 87 that is no longer in existence now. So I was down there working, filling in, because of course it was 87, so didn't nobody want to come to work. So they needed people to come to work. And so they asked us to come work down there. So I went to work and I seen that man and I was like, oh shit, let me go ahead and just do my job because I am here for a good time, not a long time. I was doing my job, and you know how somebody be watching you?
Yeah.
Just watching you. And at this time I had a girl who I worked with, her name was TT. And TT was real ghetto. God bless her soul. TT, if you see this, I love you. I still love you, boo. But you was ghetto than a
Shout
motherfucker,
out to
baby.
TT.
TT was ghetto. So TT was like, we had got real cool. And I was like, damn, he look good. She was like, he do, don't he? Next thing I know, hey, check it out. What you doing? What are you doing? You said he looked good. I was like, oh God, you know how you meet somebody that's the complete fucking opposite of you at the time, and you be like, how do you be friends? How do you be friends with that? So, met him there, and we just hit it off from there. And he told me, put your number in my phone, and I put my number in his
And you was like
phone. And
773 375 92 for you.
no, actually, I didn't. I was like, you asking me or you telling me? He was like, I'm telling you. It's like, okay, let me put my number in your phone then. Go ahead and put this
You
number in your
fucking freak.
phone. You know, maybe a little bit. So yeah, I put my number in his phone, and then we just been hit it off there. So long story short, we've been together since then. Met in 2012. Graduated college. Education fell into my lap. Worked as a paraprofessional for a couple years and realized that I was feeling like I was being boxed in with my talents, and like I was going through principles. Like I was just going through the motions of just a job. And at one point I was just like, all right, I think I was like 25. I was like, there's got to be more to this than this. And I, during the summertime, when you are working for CPS, you don't get paid. So I started working for Park District, and I was like, I need a job all year round because I don't want to do this every
Yeah.
year. I don't want to work CPS 10 months and then got to work the Park District for 2. And I don't want to wipe no more asses. Okay. I was
Talk about it.
wiping, you know, my babies with disabilities asses, which don't get me wrong, I love them to death, but baby, I got to wipe my own ass. I didn't want to wipe their ass too. It became a bit much.
Mm.
Jesus. Now I'm wiping my own son's ass. Here we are. Um
Hey. This is why we didn't go live.
so okay, let me
Exactly
tell you
why.
something. It was this shit would have been lit live. Okay, fuck you talking about. So
Listen, we can always do an after show, but go ahead.
after on the rocks with Rhonda.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered. So yeah, so did that, and I was like, I am going to quit this school and I'm going to quit the park district because I can't keep working for you people. My friend, he loved his job so much, and I was just like, oh, he loved his school so much. Let me go see what this school is about. Let me see, let me see, let me see. So I was like, one day I just inboxed him like, do you really like this place for real? Or you just like
You see,
promoting them?
right?
Like how that work? He's like, no, I actually love it here. I love everything about it here. Yada yada yada. So he's like, they got some positions actually available. Put me down if you apply. I was like, all right, fuck it. I applied, got the phone call, interview. Funny story, came in and interviewed with the both of you ladies.
Yes.
Interview with the both of y'all, and y'all clearly told me I did my big one.
Period.
And I got the job. And at that time, I was a employee of you, Miss Rhonda. And I enjoyed my time working with you. I really did. You taught me a lot, showed me a lot. You taught me how to be a bad bitch in that industry, like in
Oh,
this field.
thank you.
You gotta be you showed me like put your bitch face on and show motherfuckers that you ain't playing with them. And ever since then, baby, I look here. When I walk into a room, motherfuckers know I'm not playing.
Big
So
period.
I am now in the role that I am in education, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Parenting has not been easy. Also, though, working in education, just because you take on so
Hmm.
much. You take on other people's kids' emotions and
Yeah,
feelings, and then you come home to your own emotions and feelings. And it could be
for
hard
sure.
someday. It can be really overwhelming. And I quit every day, and yeah, I go right back just because of like this is what I feel like I should be doing
Hmm.
to make the same impact that I didn't necessarily have people to make on
Yeah,
me. So I take like all of those different life experiences and things that I've been through, and just pour into kids, in that same way. However, I am very in tune with my teen moms when they do come and just like pouring into them and letting them know, like, hey, baby, your girl done been through some
yeah,
things. All right. If I can do it, you can do it too. And just having them real, raw, honest conversations in a way where they understand that, like, this ain't your end all be all,
yeah,
and don't be what people think you are going to be. You are more than just that. So I truly enjoy what I do, and I enjoy just like how my life turned out. I had an alternate route from what I thought it was gonna be, but I would not go back and change anything just simply because like it shaped me to be the bad bitch that I am
Bad bitch.
today.
Okay. You're in first place. Bad bitch contest, you're in first place.
Okay, I wouldn't change a thing. So yeah, that is it. That is me. There's so much more to me, guys, but that's a conversation for another podcast episode
Love
coming
it.
soon.
Love it. Love it. Alexis, your turn, girl. Tell us,
All right.
how did we
Where
get
do I
here to be
start?
Black Girl Magic?
How did I get here? So had my son 2015. So I was a junior. No, I
Wait,
was
2015. So he's going to be 10?
yes. He's
That's crazy.
Whew. If I didn't feel like an
So
auntie before, I 100% auntie now
yeah,
because
I
he
watched him
was
grow up
literally a baby.
yes,
He was cat
watched him
boy
grow
one
up.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
He was like
Yeah,
2.
running through the hallway,
Ugh.
just running. But
Anyway,
yeah,
go on.
now he's playing sports and all this other stuff, and just being a boy. So now I can only imagine his teenage years. So how did I get
It's
here?
coming.
I could wait. I'm not in a rush for that. I could wait.
It's gonna go like
I
that,
could
baby.
wait.
He 10. Next thing you know, he gonna be 16. Carry on.
Oh, Lord. How about carry on? Okay, so senior year, it's time for me to go back to school. I done already had my baby, 2015. So it's about August. I don't have anybody to go back on campus with me. So I'm like scratching my head, like, what am I gonna do? My brother and them already, I done cried about it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is my last year, like I have to finish. But I'm not gonna force anybody to like come with me and take care of my responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to been like 2 weeks. I think I had to sign up for my classes, or it was time to be assigned to housing. It was between one of those two, and I was like, Ma, I can't apply for nothing if I don't know if I'm going back or not. So we had a little conversation. The next day, my brother was sitting in a chair on the computer with my son in his hand. He was like, "Well, you the last one, so you gotta finish. So I'm gonna go with you. You gonna do what?" I cried tears of joy because it was like he was like, "I'm only staying for a year. That's all I need, bro. All I need is a year. Cool." And I was ready. I was signing in. I was logged into my classes. I was doing everything that needs to be done so I could be on time. So he came down there with me. And he kept my baby when I went to school. I don't think I was working then. I think housing was paid for already. So I don't think I had to work because as soon as I came through that door, I couldn't use the bathroom, nothing. That baby was right there.
Yep.
And I understood it. I appreciate him so much just to put your life on hold just so I could finish college was a big deal. So graduated. A principal from high school came down, and I mean that meant a lot to me too. Like having a baby, just going through all the trials and tribulations, and even when I found out I was pregnant, like I went to go see a therapist because I wasn't sure. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
Right.
I don't know. That didn't help. I talked to my mom. She's like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I am." I'm right. So I was like, "Okay, cool, girl. Well, we good over here. We good."
Right.
So from then, after that, graduation happened. Now I had to find a job. That was hard because I think I was talking to my oldest brother, and he was like, "Well, you got your degree, so you got to take your degree off your resume so you can actually get like a job." I worked real hard for this degree. You tell me to
Correct.
take it off my resume so I can get
Mhm.
like a quick job, nothing like long term, but like something where I could feed my baby and get shoes, pampers, and all that stuff. So I'm like, so I gotta take it off. Yeah, why am I not gonna take you? You got a degree, okay? So nothing really. Nobody called me back in the time frame that I needed them to call me back. So I started delivering pizzas. I was delivering pizzas. I did that for
For where? For who?
Jets Pizza.
Oh, I love Jazz Pizza. They been out that long?
Yeah, they was. I never heard of them until I looked on Indeed, and they was like, need a delivery person. And I signed up. And they
Yeah, I
called me.
just discovered them like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yes, and it's so good.
I
But
mean,
I'm
but
sorry,
probably
go
because
ahead.
of their location. They not where we at, where we usually
Now
go.
they got one at Hat Park, and
Okay.
and like Oak Lawn, I think I heavily enjoy it. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I just had to throw
But
that.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Jet's been out? Okay.
Yeah, they've been out for a while. And they do got some pretty good pizza too, but I used to take it home. And what else?
You,
So I did that
Layla was
for a good.
stealing from Burlington. You stealing from Jet's Pizza. Thieves.
I
Um,
didn't steal from Burlington. I stole from that restaurant I worked at.
Girl,
But again,
Alexis,
that's a
keep going because
conversation
this girl
for another
incriminating herself
podcast.
on the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. Go ahead.
oh my god. Okay, so I did that for about a good 2 months. It got tiring. Like it wasn't really bringing in no money for real. So I applied to a job downtown with Noble. It was an internship. And all you were really doing was putting in data. Apparently, I wasn't putting in the data right. They let me go. I said, "Are you sure? Can you show me where I made the mistake at, ma'am?" It's like, "Oh, we fixed it. It's fine." I think it was like my second time messing up. It's like, damn, you don't get 3 tries. Like, what the fuck? So they're like, "Yeah, so you could go. You could, they sent me home." I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I call them the next morning, like, "Hey, do you need me to come in? I could fix whatever I made wrong. I could correct it." "Oh no, we about to fill that position." Fuck, like,
Hilarious.
what I'm about to do?
They
So
said, "Do not come. Do not come."
You are done. You're done,
like, y'all
man.
didn't even show me my mistake. You sure that was me? I
Do
need
not
this
come.
job. Y'all don't even know if that was me for real. So got fired from there. And then I looked up some more internships with Noble. That's why I landed at DRW. I was doing recruitment. So it was a little data here and there. I ain't mess up on that. I needed that job.
Very good. Very, very good. Very good.
Yeah. So I was doing recruitment, and that was an internship. So it was just a summer job. So I was trying to talk with the principal to see, if I could stay full time. It's like, oh, we don't have enough money in the budget. Ooh, cool. So she was like, but apply to other nobles. They're hiring. And I applied to, she's sick.
Hey, you're all right.
Got the interview. I think I got hired on the spot or the next day, like something like that. Yeah. And the
I think y'all
crazy,
took a week to call me. That's crazy, but go ahead.
Because
but
we had
the
other
the crazy
people.
thing about it is my mom was in education also. And she used to tell me, the same thing with you later. She used to tell me her stories, and I was intrigued. I was like, "Ma, can I go to your job? Like, I want to see, like, all the crazy stuff." She's like, "Girl, hell, no, you ain't mean all them crazy ass people." Like, I was intrigued, but
Nope.
education was never my go to for. Like,
Mm.
I have a degree in social work, so dealing with kids, teenagers was never like the plan. It was never the plan. So I got into that job, and I was I did pretty well. They say do X, Y, and Z. I did X, Y, and Z. And my time had passed there, and now I'm working with the juveniles. I felt like I just needed more. Like
Yeah,
that
for
was
sure.
enough. I just needed more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just more craziness. Why? Why? I don't
I remember when you left.
know.
You did your big one, big dog. You did your big one. I just want to say that you taught me a lot, though. Like, I started to feel more confident in
Mhm.
my role. Um, when you started showing me things. Remember that time you left me in that lunchroom by myself, like that first week by myself at that place?
You gotta
And
learn, man.
them kids was trying to eat me up, bro. They was trying to come for me, and I had to hold my own in a lunchroom full of kids. And I'm like, where did Miss Moore go?
Mm-hmm.
Where did Miss Moore go? I look up. She upstairs
I
looking
got a
down.
call.
And I was like,
I had to go. They was acting up.
Be
Like,
like that.
I said, no, it's week 1. Not by myself. Oh my God, these are big kids. These are not little kids. I'm embarrassed. Somebody done already made fun of my hair. Oh God. Oh, I remember it. But she was like, you gotta own that. You gotta like do your shit, sis. And I appreciated that so
Yeah.
much. Like just affirming me, like, like you get this, you can do this, you can do this. Because at the last job, I didn't really have nobody like saying that to me. I just was doing my job and everybody else's job, and either if the shit was wrong, hey, nobody gave a fuck because they ain't had nobody else to do
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So, but like you just affirming me and just like taking me under your wing, like I am partially of who I am because of you too, and I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
And for those of you, like, for the listeners who do not know Coach Alexis, Coach Alexis, this is the most that she's talked probably in the last 45 days. She is a woman of very few words. We used to joke all the time about I would be in the office and the way that our desks were set up, our backs were to each other. So like I'm facing forward right now and Alexis would be like behind me and our backs would be to each other. And I would just be like talking, like, trying to like have conversation because we would be the only two in the office of like it was like 6 of us who had desks in there, but people are moving around, so we wouldn't all be in the office at the same time. So
Mm.
on occasion, Alexis and I would be in the office together, and I would just be talking, just certified motherfucking yapper, and I would look back, and she would be like, "Mm-hmm, mm-hmm," and I'm like, "You don't want
Correct.
to talk to me. She don't want to talk to
She
me."
used to hit me. She used to hit me with the "you talking to me?" To be like, bitch, you're the only one here. The fuck?
You're the only one in the room.
Who the fuck
Who
else am I
the
talking
fuck
to?
else would I be talking to? So, Coach Alexis,
Um,
tell us how you started your like coaching for teens and young adults. Like, as someone who, from what I've known, has always been like very reserved, very to yourself, pretty quiet. You got the mom thing down. You got the working with kids thing down. Like, how did you transition to branch out to start your own business and like coach and consult young people?
I think it's more so like the environments I've been in.
Okay.
You try to reach kids from different environments, and like it only goes so far.
Yeah.
So with me being in the detention center, like me teaching them the rights, the wrongs, and vice versa, and all that, it only goes so far because they got to go right back to their environment.
Mm-hmm.
So how long is that going to stick with them?
Right.
Versus me in the school area, where it's like I'm teaching a group of y'all and we learning all of this together. So either we hopping on board or we not,
Yeah.
because it takes a village to help raise these kids. And a lot
Absolutely.
of times we see a lot of kids acting out in the school area where their parents aren't, because mom got to work, daddy got to work.
Yeah.
We're their second parent when they come to school. So
100%.
why aren't we giving them those resources, those life resources that they need? As a teenager, I didn't get that. My mama had to work.
For sure.
She had other kids to take care of. She had to come home, cook dinner.
Mm-hmm.
What time does she have to really spend to teach me these things? So I thought it was I know it's very important to like get into the school system and help not just the staff but the kids as well, because it turns the behavior around. I won't say 100%. I ain't did no studies or nothing like that, but
Mm-hmm.
once you get a grapple and like be checking in with the kids, they like it. They
Mm-hmm.
want somebody to check on them. They want to say, "Hey, how your day going?"
Mm-hmm.
Like they want that time, but we don't have time to do that because we got to teach.
Yeah.
So I think just spreading the word and actually like helping them find their confidence and find out who they are, because you get a lot of kids and you want to be like, "Girl, that ain't you," but you don't want to bust them in front of their friend. So you pull them to the side, you have a little talk with them, but that talk can only go for so long because she got her friends in her ear all day.
Yeah.
So if we working collectively as a group, then I feel like we could get somewhere. Everybody working on themselves. It's not just you. So everybody experiencing change. Everybody is trying to be better, instead of just one person working on themselves individually. We're doing it as a school. We're doing it as a unit. So y'all know Coach Moore talked about this during y'all session. Why you not working on that?
Mm-hmm.
That trickles into the classroom.
Yeah.
So now
Mm-hmm.
everybody's holding you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my approach with it. So yeah.
Yeah. I think too, like, it is so powerful for women, particularly Black women, to do the work that we do, because there are so many Black boys and Black girls and other children of color who may not see that at home necessarily. And because you guys have had so many experiences with being young moms, but graduating college, getting these careers, and then reaching back for young people who need that same guidance and that same support, and truly living out like, these are the things that I did not have, so I need to be this for someone else. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just remarkable in and of itself, to say like, I am going to dedicate my life to being what I didn't have. And I y'all know I get emotional, but I'm not going to do that.
Don't cry.
Uh-uh. Nope. Mm-mm. No, I'm not going to do that. But no, I'm really proud of you guys. And as someone who has worked alongside of you and also managed you for a few years, and that's not a fucking flex. That's what it was. I could not be more proud of you all. I could not be more proud of you all. Even you, Alexis, to like leave what you knew, because you worked for the same school district where you were educated at, and to branch out and to say, no, I want more. That's just remarkable. And so I am super proud of you. I appreciate you guys for coming on the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast today and sharing your stories. And hopefully, even though we talked about friends with benefits, and even though we talked about Tay Tay and her foolishness, I hope that the listeners have garnered something from this episode. And for the young women, even as young as my little 8-year-old baby Samina, who listens to my podcast, I hope that you know that as a young woman or as a young person, like, whatever situation you are in right now is not the end all be all for you, and greatness is to come. It's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some dedication. It's going to take some family members saying, hey, I'll come spend a year at college with you. It's going to take some family members saying, hey, I'll take care of this while you do this. But it is possible. So that's my last little tidbit. Where can we find you guys on social media? Alexis, please let us know, for parents or other people who are interested in some life coaching. Where can they find you at? How do they sign up? Layla, tell us where we can find you on social media, and we'll wrap up from there.
So my Instagram and my X Twitter and my TikTok is all the same. It's futuristic teens. I believe one of them has an underscore, but it's everywhere on Instagram. So futuristic underscore teens. I believe that's what that my handle is.
Okay.
For.
Fantastic.
Okay. Well, I ain't got no business, but I'm in the business of being fucking fabulous.
Period.
So you can
That's
find
business.
me on.
That's business.
Somebody might pay me for it at some
They
point
might.
in my life. Shit. I just need a sponsor to say that bitch is bad. Give her some money. You can find me on a Facebook at Lalah Harper. Nothing special there, just first and last name. No razzle dazzle. You know, these people be having razzle dazzle on their Facebook names, and I'm just like, I am the Layla Harper. That is it. That is all. So follow me on Facebook. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Lalalicious. You can type in Lalalicious or Layla Harper. You'll just see me just being living my life. I'm on a journey of fitness and health and wealth. Yeah, so
Snatched.
I do post.
Snatched like a
Get in
motherfucking
there,
wig,
get in
bitch.
there. I am really into just being overall better with my health and wealth, because when you look good, you feel good.
That's
So I
right.
work out often. And I just like to have a good time. So if you ever want to just come check me out, hit me on the inbox. I'm always down to go have a time, baby. If it's a bush, my name might be on it.
Oh, and
This is my
period.
to be outside.
Um, last shameless plug. if you can't tell, every woman on this episode of this podcast cares about her hair. So if there are any wig influencers,
Ooh,
if there are
yeah,
any
yeah.
weave companies that want to sponsor the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast, if you need some influencers, if you need someone to wear your hair and really fucking wear it, this is the group for you.
Here,
The group for you.
Hmm.
Like,
The amount of people that thought this shit was mine.
listen,
stop playing.
because when you wear
Oh,
it, you wear it
baby.
well. And if you follow futuristic teens, you're going to see Coach Alexis. I don't know a single person who gets their hair done more than her. It's like every 3 days, I think. Like,
It's not every-
I don't think she's had this maybe 5 days. Maybe 5 days.
about you.
Baby girl,
And it's gonna come
yeah,
down.
and can wear any color, any style,
Yes, yes,
braids,
yes.
bobs, wigs, ponytails, whatever you want. So again, you nice, loving me, like rich extensions. We're your girls.
Hmm.
We're your girls.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to you, nice. This is their
See?
V part
That's what I'm
kinky
saying.
curly wig.
Yeah, and when this episode
Shout out to
airs,
y'all.
tag them. Tag them in the comments
Yeah.
because
A little bit
Rhonda on the Rocks
collection.
is going
Yeah.
places, and yeah, we need sponsors. You can find me at Rhonda on the Rocks podcast on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram. On Instagram, it is Rhonda on the Rocks _ podcast. On TikTok, Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. On Facebook, Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. Thank you to my amazing guests for being here with me today. I am so inspired by your stories, and I'm excited to be a part of your journey and what's to come. I love you both. Thank you guys for being here tonight, and we're
Thanks
signing
for
out.
having us.
Bye.
Love you, Rhonda.
Bye.
Peace.